Good morning. Yeah, I'm here just sitting here looking at the lake. Hey, I'm in a place today called Charleston, Illinois, at a lake called Lake Charleston. And a couple of years ago, I had a couple of my friends here from Lake Charles, Louisiana, dear friends of Carrie and mine. And we had them here in the dead of winter, though. And being from Lake Charles, Louisiana, I don't think they were quite used to that dead of winter, wind blowing, ice on the water, all that type of stuff. But they were so thankful to get back into my car because I have heated seats. But today, I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about a man that was so spiritually significant in our world today, but nobody knows his name. And back in the early 1900s, around 1934, there was this tent revival meeting going on in Charlotte, North Carolina. And this preacher was up there. He was going at it. He was fiery. He was sharing the love of God with the people underneath the tent. And there was these two 14-year-old boys, and they just happened to be walking by the tent. And they heard all the commotion, all the goings-ons inside the tent. And they were intrigued. And so they walked up to the tent. But when they got to the tent, they noticed that there were no seats for them to sit. And so both of these boys, they just turned around and they just started to walk away. But there was an individual who noticed these boys, and it was an usher. And to this day, nobody knows the name of this usher. And he grabbed one of the 14-year-old boys, and he said, "Come here, we can find 2 seats for you two together." And so they went back to the tent, and he asked a few people to scoot down and got these 2 young 14-year-old boys a place to sit. Throughout the course of that meeting, throughout the course of that tent meeting, these 2 14-year-old boys, they gave their lives to Jesus. They set themselves apart. They committed their lives to God at that point to serve Him and to serve Him with their whole heart. Now, these 2 14-year-old boys, one of these boys is a man that we know now as Billy Graham. Now, Billy Graham was so significant in reaching more people with the gospel of Jesus Christ than anybody in the world. He reached tens of millions of people with the gospel. Tens of millions of people are in heaven today because of the gospel of message of Billy Graham. The other guy that was in that meeting that day that gave his life to the Lord, his name was Grady Wilson. And Grady Wilson was significant for helping Billy Graham organize all of his evangelistic crusades. So we look at this, we look at Billy Graham, we look at Grady Wilson, we look at all these different people. We look at even the guy that was performing or giving the tent meeting. And we talk about how they were so significant. But the most significant man, I believe, in that whole picture was that one man that nobody knew his name. And it was that usher. I tell our people at our church all the time, I said, everybody has a supply to bring. Well, 2 things I always tell them. Everybody has a supply to bring, and there's no such thing as big people church and little people church. It's the church. And so whether you're a teenager or whether you're an adult, to me, you're equally significant when it comes to the things of God. And so I believe that when we have a supply to bring, we bring it, whether we're an usher, whether we're a greeter, whether we're a singer on the stage, whether we're the pastor, whatever it may be, we have a supply to bring. We have a handshake, we have a smile, whatever it may be, we have a supply to bring that is significant to the gospel of Jesus Christ. It's significant to the plan of God on this earth. You are significant to the plan of God on this earth. These 14-year-old boys, potentially walking away from that meeting that day. But that one man, that one unknown man to this day, that usher saw them and said, "Not on my watch. I will make room for these boys. They are significant. God has a plan and a purpose for their lives." And he was a part of that plan and purpose for their lives. I believe that we all have a plan and a purpose. And we all are significant to one another. And so whatever it may be, whether it's here at Lake Charleston, I'm standing on this lake. I've already ran across 2 guys out here on this path that I'm standing on here right now. Whether it's here, wherever it may be, we are those one people. We may not be the person that was the Billy Graham. We may not be the one that is worldwide known. We may not be that person that everybody knows your name. but you don't need to be. You need to be that one person that says, not on my watch. They aren't getting away on my watch. I'll make room for them to sit underneath this tent on my watch. I'll make room for them to come into this building on my watch. We had a visitor come in this last Sunday morning. She came in there and she had friends and family had gone to our church years ago. And she came walking in, and we were back in the back, and we were praying like we always do before the service. And she came down the hallway there, and we invited her in to where we were praying and let her be a part of the prayer that we were praying. And she was significant in that it was somebody who came in, and I said, on my watch, she's important. On my watch, she'll be involved. On my watch, she will be won into the kingdom of heaven if she wasn't already. Now, it turned out she was a Christian. She was a believer already. But on my watch, everyone is significant, and I will reach out to everyone on my watch. I'm here at Lake Charleston today. I almost said Lake Charles. Hey, Dave and Laura. I'm at Lake Charleston today, and I'll probably spend a few more minutes out here today over on the other side of the hill here where all the people are parked, and see if God leads me to approach somebody. See if God leads me to, shows me somebody that needs something that I have, the supply that I have on the inside of me. I ask people all the time, what is your supply? And I've had people not be able to give me that answer, you know, and I let them know that your supply, it doesn't have to be that you are standing on a pulpit. It doesn't mean that you're standing on a stage. It doesn't have to be that you're this bigger than life individual. Your supply is, man, God gave me something, and I want to share it with you. It may be my smile, like I said earlier. It may be my handshake, but I have a supply to bring. Well, I want to thank you for joining me here on these 5 to 7 minutes, and look forward to spending more time with you. And like I said, we're getting some more things together. But go ahead and hit like and hit share on these videos here, and leave a comment. I'd love to hear how God has moved on you to where you shared your supply. You brought what it was that you have on the inside of you, whether it was your smile that made a difference in someone's life, whether it was a hug that made a difference in someone's day. But just share with us what God is doing in and through you. So we'll see you next Monday here on 5 to 7 minutes. There's all kinds of fish. They're jumping around out here. I've seen them. I'm hearing them, as a matter of fact, right now. I'll spend a little bit more time here. And Dave and Laura, when you're back, we'll go ahead and